Hey, this is Waylon from Swiftwood Bows, and I want to share a really important tool that I have in my shop with you today. It's called the Tillering Tree. And the purpose of the Tillering Tree is to allow me to judge the bend of my bow, to judge the tiller of it. I can smoothly work the limbs without holding the bow for too long at full draw. It keeps me at a nice safe distance just in case the bow were to break. And at the same time, I've got a hanging scale and a ruler so I can measure the draw weight at any given draw length. So for example, this bow is 60 pounds at 27 inches. So at the heart of it, it's really a pretty simple tool, and it doesn't cost a lot to make. So I'm going to show you the different components of it and the choices that I made with it. There's a few different ways to approach some of these things. So one of the main things you'll need is something to set the bow on that is stable and secure. I kind of went a little bit more artistic with mine, and I used a natural crook from a yew tree, but essentially it's just a place where I can rest my bow. I've got some leather in there so that I don't damage the bow. One feature that I like to have is this tree crook kind of gives it to me naturally. It kind of creates this rounded surface for the bow to set on, which allows it to move kind of freely instead of being on a flat board and stuck so that it can't move at all. This helps to kind of recreate more what it's like when you're holding a bow in the hand. And when I put the bow on there, I try to put it where my hand would be, and I try to put the hook about where I'd be pulling on the string so that I can accurately, or as accurately as possible, recreate the draw of the bow in the hand. And I think that's important. If you're just putting this here in the middle and you're putting the string here in the middle, that's not really how we shoot the bow, and it's going to give us a bit of a misrepresentation on the tiller. So that's something to bear in mind when you're designing yours. It's a small detail, but I think it's important. I like to have this at about eye level. It needs to be high enough that when the scale gets pulled down that you can reach the longer draw lengths that you might need. And being at eye level, it helps you judge the tiller more accurately. You'll need some way to measure the draw length. I have a ruler that's hanging here, and it's set so that the end of the ruler is right at the back of the handle, and that's where we measure draw length from, so that I know that when the string comes down, to 28 inches, that's a 28-inch draw on the bow. So make sure that however you do your measurements, whether you hang a ruler, some people put marks on the wall, that the measurement is starting where the back of the bow is going to be. If you want to measure draw weight, you're going to need some sort of scale. This is just a simple mechanical hanging scale. It's sturdy, works great. You can check the weight every once in a while to make sure that it's accurate. There are other types of scales that you can use, like digital scales, fish scales, luggage scales, etc. Any of those are fine, whatever works best for you. And then the other main component is a solid pulley here at the base. The string comes down through the pulley, and I'm able to pull on this rope to pull down on the bow. I've got a handle with the rope attached to it to pull on. And that's essentially all there is to it. It's good to have a neutral background that's not busy with lots of things that can distract your eye. Some people like to put grids or lines on there so that they can, measure the distance that limbs are moving, and that can be helpful. I haven't found it necessary. To me, it distracts my eye. I just like to focus on the more general picture of what I'm seeing on the limbs, but everybody kind of has their own different style. So try it out, whatever works for you. But the materials that are needed, it's really just a few dollars at the hardware store. The pulley costs, $5 or so. You just need a little bit of wood to create a platform. The scales can be a little bit more, but they're not that bad. So as long as you've got the space for it, it's a really solid investment that will definitely improve your bow making. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to share pictures of your own setups, I'd love to see them. I'm always looking for new ideas. Thanks for watching, and take care.